governor. I remember on the campaign trail, a guy by the name of Donald Trump talking about paid family leave. He promised the American people he'd do something on this. I'd love him to fulfill a promise.
No, Governor Newsom's not talking about this year's campaign trail, where he traveled the country as a surrogate for President Biden before Biden dropped out. This is an interview from 2019, after Governor Newsom increased paid family leave for most Californians. Well, except teachers and public employees. The reality is hundreds of thousands of California teachers and public employees are still not entitled to California's paid family leave after having a baby. In fact, teachers effectively pay for their own sub. 5 years ago, we discussed this issue with Governor Newsom, but little has changed. Now lawmakers are stepping in. So just to be clear, there's nothing that you as the governor can do.
Well, there's a lot the governor can do, and we're pursuing that.
So what have you done?
A lot has changed in Emily's life since we first interviewed her and Governor Newsom back in 2019.
People just think, oh, you're out on maternity leave, getting paid to take care of your baby. It's like, no, not really. Ran out of pay a while ago.
At the time, she was a Southern California public school teacher with a brand new baby.
Oh no, the time.
Today, Emily teaches in the Bay Area, and that baby starts kindergarten this week. But one thing hasn't changed. Teachers still aren't eligible for California's paid family leave.
It's been 5 years. Nothing has happened. We need your help, Governor.
Most Californians are entitled to up to 16 weeks of paid leave after having a baby. The first 6 to 8 weeks is disability pay for new moms to physically recover from giving birth, paid at 90% of their salary beginning next year. Then there's up to 8 weeks of paid family leave for moms, dads, or adoptive parents to bond with the new baby. Other Californians can use that time to care for a sick family member, but teachers don't get any of it. There are hundreds of thousands of Californians who are not entitled to this leave at all right now. How is that possible?
It's possible because they haven't bargained for it.
As the governor explained in 2019, paid leave is something public employee unions must collectively bargain for. Members can't individually opt in. Since that interview, the number of state employees without paid leave has been cut in half. But CBS News California identified an estimated 52,000 state employees, including CHP and firefighters, whose unions still have not bargained for this right.
I'll give you the tape.
And 5 years later, the California Teachers Association says while some local teachers unions have negotiated some paid leave, other districts refuse to negotiate the benefit without state guidance or a mandate.
Okay.
California's paid leave is paid for by that 1% disability tax on your paycheck. But under state law, public employees can't pay into disability even if they want to, so they can't collect.
I don't understand why that's not an option.
Instead, public school teachers get 12 weeks of unpaid leave and must use up any vacation or sick leave before they effectively pay for their own substitute teacher.
Dude, awesome.
Up to 50% of their salary. Why can't the state allow individuals to opt in to disability insurance?
That's the point of our task force. This is what we're exploring.
We asked the governor to sit down with us again, now 5 years later, to discuss paid family leave for teachers. But his office said he was just too busy to discuss the issue. So we asked what the governor and his paid family leave task force have done over the last 5 years, specifically for teachers. They sent us a list of paid family leave accomplishments.
2019 expanded California paid family leave.
But couldn't point to any that specifically impacted teachers.
They're paying for their own sub. And do you think that's fair? Come on.
Assembly Majority Leader Cecilia Aguiar-Curry wants to give teachers 14 weeks of fully paid leave, paid for by school districts instead of California's overburdened state budget. Her union-backed bill has widespread support among the Democratic majority, but the governor vetoed a similar bill shortly after our last interview in 2019, saying paid leave should be considered as part of the annual budget process and through collective bargaining. It's basically coming from school funding.
That's exactly right.
And so what do you say to the critics who say, you're sacrificing funding for students to pay the teachers?
Well, I'm saying to them, a happy instructor is a happy classroom, is a happy child. I'm also saying to the governor, you mentioned you wanted this to make sure it was in the budget. You never did it.
The timer!
As a teacher, Emily is concerned the bill could divert funding from programs for students.
I see year after year different programs or services being cut.
But as a parent, she's just as concerned about the increasing teacher shortage and believes paid family leave will help attract and retain quality teachers for her daughter and generations to come. Now, the Assembly has already passed the bill. It's now up to the Senate, which could vote as early as next week. But anything can happen, especially if the governor doesn't want to sign it.